Hey Fueled Up friends, welcome back or welcome. My name is Ashley and today I'm going to be moving you through another movement class. Today is going to be stretching. So if you're not familiar to yoga, that's okay. I'm not going to specifically be using yoga pose names, but we are going to be using some yoga inspired poses to stretch out our muscles. So let's get started. All you need is a mat. And if you don't have a mat, as long as you have something soft under you like a rug, that's totally fine. So we're gonna start feet hip width apart. Big breath in, big shoulder rolls. Good, so getting nice, loose upper body to start, and then rolling the neck in one direction. Ooh, I can hear my neck crack. And reverse direction. And now we're just gonna look to our right, look center, look to our left, look center, right, center, left, center. You might notice that one side is a little bit more flexible or easier to turn than the other. Just note it. And we're gonna drop our right ear to right shoulder, back to center, left ear to left shoulder, back to center. 2 more times, right, center, left, center, again, right, center, left, center. So now a little bit wider with our feet. We're gonna take a big deep breath in, bend the knees, lift the arms up, and we're gonna bring it to a halfway lift. So we're using a little bit of core muscles here to hold us up halfway. If this is too much for you, you can have your hands here, you can have your hands here. So many modifications, okay? So just holding that here, lengthening the spine, back is flat. And then we're gonna fold all the way forward. So again, if you need to adjust your feet wider or narrower, go for it. We're just gonna hold this here. And if you can't get your hands to the floor, that's totally fine. You can be on the fingertips or again, on the hips. It's really important to stretch to prevent injury from just day-to-day life, but also if you're an exerciser, especially strength training. If you're doing strength training, you really need to be stretching. So we're over to one side now. So I have my left hand on my right ankle. So when you're building muscle, you want to lengthen those muscles for maximum results. So that's what we're doing here, or just generally stretching for injury prevention. Now we're on the other side, so right hand to left ankle. You can have that other hand on the floor for support, whatever you need to do. We're gonna walk our hands back to center, bend at the knee, slowly roll it back up, heel toe the feet together. And now we're going to take our right leg, bring it up. So right hand to right ankle, pushing the hips forward. Maybe bringing the left arm in front of you for balance or holding a wall or a table or anything you have nearby. So if you don't have room behind you, you might need to turn for this next one. We're going to drop the right foot back. So notice my right heel is down. If you can't bring it fully to the floor, that's fine. It's tough, especially if you have tight calves. And we're just gonna hold it here. If you want an added challenge, bring your right arm up. And even more of a challenge, bring your right arm up and over. So it's a little bit balanced, but it's also more of a side body for the right side and right hip flexor stretch. So right leg's back, right arm's up. We're leaning towards the left. Step it together. We're just doing the other side for quads. So left hand, left ankle. Again, grab something for balance if you need it. Or just bring that hand in front of you for the balance. Again, we don't want to be here. We want to push the hips forward. We're intentional with our stretches, mindful. So this is balance and flexibility right here, which is great. And again, if you have that space, go for it. You're going to drop that foot back, left foot back. Notice my knee is never coming over my toe. It's in line with the foot. So again, this might be enough for you for a stretch. You might feel it deep in the hip flexor. Totally great. If not, you can bring that left arm up. And if you need even more of a stretch, you can bring that arm up and towards the right. So feeling it all the way down here. Don't worry, we're also going to get into some stretches on the floor. I always like to start standing and in a more relaxed state. So if you want to do this before bed, you can. All right, this next one is a squat, a yogi squat. So it sounds like it's an exercise, but it's actually more of a stretch. So we're going to have, notice my toes are pointing out. Okay, and you might need to widen it a little bit more. We're gonna take our elbows to the insides of our knees. If this is all you can do, if you need your hands here, that's fine. Some of you might be able to sit down and have the elbows as a tool to push the hips open. So if I didn't have my elbows, they would be like this, but my elbows are pushing against my inner knee to open my hips. Really important to work the hips. They connect with every other part of the body, especially the knees and the back, which a lot of us have issues with. Hold it for a couple more breaths. And we're just gonna plop on down. So if you're here, that's great. We're gonna take it to a wide straddle. So adjust as needed. Take your time coming down. We're gonna just focus on keeping our knees facing the ceiling. So they're trying not to be here, they're up, okay? And so we're gonna first reach for our right toes with our right hand. And then we're gonna lift that left arm up. And if you can lift it over, we're gonna go for it. And trying not to lift that hip up off the ground, that left hip is staying grounded. So if you can only be here while that hip is grounded, then so be it. Stay there. And each time you do this, if you continue to do this over and over, you're gonna find that you can go further and further. Coming back to center now, left hand reaches for the left toes, right arm's up, and if you can bring it over, bring it over. Again, noticing where the toes and knees are pointing, they should be pointing up. Don't forget to breathe. That's part of the importance of stretching because you're bringing oxygen to the muscle. If you're not bringing oxygen to the muscle, it's almost pointless as to why we stretch. So make sure you're breathing. Back to center. Now this one's tough. Come as far as you can. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's a lot of it. If you can come down to your elbows, go for it. But again, we're trying not to bring our toes in. We're keeping them up. Okay, so wherever you can be, neck is neutral. I know you might need to look at the video, but try to look and then bring it back to neutral. We're just holding here. Good, big, deep breaths. One more. Okay, bring those hands back up. Now we're gonna play around a little bit with the position. So you can have your hands wherever. We're gonna bring toes in and up. This is gonna feel pretty good if you have tight hips like me. It's gonna feel good to kind of almost like massage in there. So pointing your toes in and up, in and up, in and up. One more. In and up. Nice job. All right, what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take our left leg, bring it in, okay? Right leg, bring it out. This is important, okay? So you're feeling it maybe here and maybe here. You're gonna place your left hand in back of you. Right arm is pressing or rising up as you press your hips forward. Big stretch and down. So this is more of a fluid motion. We're gonna do these a few times. That's 2. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Big inhale. Hold it up. And bring it back. All right, we're gonna put that right leg back out, left leg back out where we started. And now we're bringing the right foot into the left thigh, and we're gonna bend back our left leg. All right, so same position on the other side. Right hand comes in back of us. We're rising up, big breath in. And exhale down. Good. So the further you can push your hips forward, the more you'll feel the stretch. Good, a couple more of those. Big inhale. So we're working a lot of hips and side body flexibility. Last one. Hold it. Exhale. Good job. We're gonna bring feet together for butterfly. We're gonna, again, use those elbows to our advantage. So again, not on the knee, but on the inner part of the knee. We're gonna just gently press. So I'm not here, trying to keep my long spine and just lean forward with a nice flat back. You should feel it. A little bit goes a long way, I promise. You don't need to do all that much to feel it. And release. Now, one of my favorites, we're gonna bring hands behind us. Feet are planted on the floor. You might need to widen your stance a little bit, depends. But this one's just windshield wiper legs. And so we're just dropping our knees to one side, back to center, other side. So you're feeling a little bit of a glute massage. So the left glute is getting massaged here, the right glute is getting massaged here. So just fluid motion. You might not even stop fully in the middle. It's one of my favorites. Just a few more times here. Then we're gonna stretch a little bit of our upper body. You're gonna sleep good tonight after this stretch, I promise. Back to center. Awesome. Now we're gonna go to all fours. So notice wrists and shoulders are in line. So we're not here, we're not here, we're right here. And if you have bad wrists or they're feeling a little bit tender, bring your hands into fists, okay? Over time though, they will strengthen if you continue to do this. All right, lift your right arm up and thread that arm through. Drop the ear to the mat. This arm can be wherever. So feeling a nice shoulder stretch. Bring it back up. So plant that right hand. Left arm reaches up. Thread that arm through. Drop left ear to the mat. Again, right hand can be wherever is needed for you to feel good in the stretch. So remember, stretching should feel good, but it should feel a little bit of tension in certain areas without feeling pain. So if you're feeling pain, you need to stop. If you're feeling discomfort, that's different. That's gonna help you to get deeper into stretches next time. All right, hands back in position. Now we're gonna take our seats back, maybe a little bit wider knees into child's pose. This is what yoga calls child's pose. But we're gonna bend at our elbows and put our hands in prayer position and keep our hands behind our head, okay? So the reason I have my hands here, if you're doing this, you're feeling a stretch in the triceps, okay? If you don't, walk your elbows out a little bit more. Feels so good. And again, our hips are back, our butts aren't up in the air. If you can anchor those hips down, it's gonna be helpful. Take those breaths. Plant those hands down, walk the fingertips out wide. Just a little gentle chest opener, chest stretch. And if this isn't enough, we're gonna do another one, so don't worry. Hands back in. We're gonna lower to our bellies, gently, slowly. We're gonna bring our right arm into 90-degree bend and press our body into it. So this is a nice chest opener. You can do this one standing up in a doorway as well. You can technically do both arms at the same time in the doorway. Other side. Left arm comes at a 90-degree. We're pressing with our right fingertips into that side. So our weight shifts onto the left side, so we can put some weight into that stretch. Awesome job. Now we're just gonna roll on over to our backs. I love this. This feels good. So we're gonna just heel toe our feet out, drop our knees in. So our knees just knock in. If you have an SI joint that's a little bit struggling or in pain often, you're kind of gonna feel this one a little bit. The pressure is kind of on your SI joint in this. If it feels painful, again, please discontinue this move. Heel toe the feet back. So knees and ankles are in line, right leg up, cross it over. So figure 4, hands reach behind the left thigh. And you can pull closer if it feels good or not, but just flexing those feet to protect the knees. We're almost done. Send the oxygen to that hip. Plant that foot on the floor. Okay, right foot plants, left leg lifts. Cross it over. Hands reach through, feet are flexed, and we're breathing. So if you put your left leg over, then you're feeling it in your left hip. If you put your right leg over, you're feeling it in your right hip. Last big breath. Plant that foot down and lift the hips up for a moment. Let them go. Bring those feet extended, arms extend up. Again, just a chest opener a little bit, but also just relaxation. We're gonna do that 4-7-8 breathing to finish off. Big breath in for, hold for 7. Exhale. In, hold, exhale, in, hold, exhale. Awesome job. If you want to remain here, go for it. If you're ready to press up, come to your side first and press on up gently. Thanks so much for joining me for this movement class. Subscribe if you want to see more. Bye, guys.